Conclusion to the brother Umar, you have played yourself in front of the people who were, I don't know, everybody with common sense. We know you're a predator.
Negro pin. Somebody snatch that Negro pin's melanin for me. Somebody please snatch that Negro pin's melanin.
Dr. Umar is no different than any black preacher in a black community, okay? He has been taking the money and greasing his pockets with it. That's it.
Dr. Umar Johnson is back in the spotlight, and this time, the question on everyone's lips is about his true loyalties. Recently, Umar went live to give his take on the Charlie Kirk controversy, but what he said surprised many. Instead of his usual sharp critiques of those opposing the black community, Umar took a very different approach. He expressed disappointment, not at Kirk, but at black people for celebrating Kirk's death. This sudden shift has many of his longtime supporters calling him out. After all, this is the same Dr. Umar who has championed Pan-African ideals, black empowerment, and separation from white supremacy. Now, critics argue he's leaning into respectability politics, especially in how he frames someone like Charlie Kirk. It's a move that has eyebrows raised and conversations buzzing. Adding fuel to the fire, comedian Corey Holcomb shared his thoughts, hinting at suspicions many have quietly wondered about. Is Dr. Umar Johnson truly aligned with the values he promotes, or is he now subtly sympathizing with MAGA narratives? Considering his past controversies, from financial irregularities to legal battles and repeated fraud accusations, some now suggest Umar may have been playing both sides all along.
I told y'all this dude was a joke. I've been telling the black community about this man, right? He's a race hustler. He preaches hate. He preaches racism. He preaches division, right? And he's made a lot of money off of it. He's raised a lot of money off. Now he was saying that his money's froze. He didn't have money for food or whatever. He didn't have money for food or something. And now he's saying he got a program where some desperate woman would pay him $500 to go on a date because he's so important. This is the same man that doesn't take care of his children, don't take care of his daughter. His own daughter exposed it.
Let's take a closer look at the Charlie Kirk controversy. Supporters may argue that Kirk wasn't overtly racist, but even under the most generous interpretation, he has always been one of the loudest voices against progressive values. His platform is deeply rooted in MAGA ideology, and he's worked to cultivate ties with Trump's circle and a network of billionaire donors, until, of course, many of those same backers began to distance themselves. At least, that's what the reports suggest.
A year ago, Charlie Kirk was tweeting, "Vote Trump to release the list." But now he has to stand by Daddy Trump as he attempts to cover up the list and as Elon accuses him of being on the list. Now he says the DOJ is too busy arresting thugs and criminals. What about the thugs and criminals on Wall Street who have been getting away with the most horrific crimes imaginable for decades now? What about the thugs and war criminals who were likely running a blackmail operation against the U.S. government? You don't think it's important for the DOJ to go after those thugs and criminals, Charlie Kirk?
In many ways, Charlie Kirk acted as a pawn for the wealthy elite. Whether he fully grasped that role is still up for debate, but the effects were unmistakable. He gained support from affluent backers whose agenda centered on dividing the working class, and over time, even some of his own followers began to see the pattern clearly.
In rural Idaho and other parts of America I've lived in, people are drowning in medical debt, working 2 jobs, falling behind when billionaires keep winning. You say universal health care is socialism, but countries like Poland, Hungary, Croatia are socially conservative, pro-family, pro-border, and still manage to support their people with health care and better wages. So how do you defend American economic system that leaves behind working class conservative people for this movement you claim to fight for?
Fine, great question. So, in Idaho, would you say that you guys have some native reservations in Idaho, right?
Yes.
Or would you say that they have great health care?
If you truly believe Charlie Kirk was working in the interest of the people, you've missed the bigger picture. Kirk came from a privileged background but never earned a college degree, which he often dismissed as unnecessary. He frequently spoke about meritocracy, yet his rise to influence tells a very different story. His access to Trump's inner circle wasn't earned, it was largely facilitated by his father, Richard Kirk, who worked as a project architect on Trump developments, including Trump Tower. On top of that, Kirk spread false narratives, like claiming George Floyd died of a drug overdose, contradicting multiple medical professionals, including Dr. Andrew Baker, the Hennepin County medical examiner, who confirmed Floyd's death was due to asphyxiation caused by Derek Chauvin's knee. So when news of Kirk's assassination attempt emerged, it's no surprise that reactions, especially on Black Twitter, ranged from indifference to criticism. While some mocked or celebrated the incident, most simply focused on their own concerns and chose to stay out of it.
People collectively woke up on November 6th, day after election, deciding that we were going to mind our business for the next 4 years. Yet and still, well, shit don't have nothing to do with us minding our black business. Y'all want to throw us in the mix. We ain't shoot and kill that man. We don't have any feelings about it. Why are y'all trying to go to HBCUs, black churches, black businesses? Leave us out of this. This is that white on white crime.
Even though the situation clearly fell under white-on-white violence, Dr. Umar Johnson turned it into an opportunity to criticize Black people for allegedly celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. He took to Instagram with a lengthy post expressing disappointment in the Black community's response, positioning himself on the moral high ground as if his long-standing rhetoric on resistance didn't exist. This is the same Dr. Umar who has consistently spoken about combating white supremacy, emphasizing that the oppressor will never truly be an ally, and advocating for total separation from white society. Yet when a prominent conservative figure was targeted by someone from his own side, Umar suddenly shifted his focus toward peace, unity, and respectability. Naturally, this didn't sit well with many of his followers. Looking closely, his comments weren't just about discouraging celebrations. They came off as a subtle defense of Charlie Kirk's legacy. Many questioned why Umar felt compelled to comment before any suspect had been identified, immediately calling out Black people for their reactions. This sparked debates over whether Umar was changing his tone to appeal to a new audience, especially amidst ongoing legal battles and financial issues. One user replied to his post saying, "The Fed's closing in, ninja trying anything." Another criticized his inconsistency. "Blink twice if you're okay. You've got people watching you too. King Kong consciousness." Comments like these highlight the frustration. What happened to our people and our people only? Disagreements should be handled privately among us, not publicly. Seeking approval and morality from those who've never shown either only keeps us divided and weak. Honestly, this isn't new. It's not the first time a self-proclaimed pro-Black figure has contradicted themselves, delivering fiery speeches in public while aligning behind the scenes with power for influence, safety, or financial gain. For anyone following Dr. Umar closely, it's clear he's currently navigating a period where he may need support or protection, and that reality is influencing his public messaging.
Is a panhandling y'all hero? Because his little post on Instagram looks very similar to all the Democrats. Now, I've known a grift when I see one, and I know he's been having trouble with getting that school up and running, but I need to know how much was the check, and where is he supposed to cash it since all his bank accounts are frozen? Now, I was already side-eyeing Black politicians for that copy and paste post that looks like they have a group chat and they all decided they were all going to post simultaneously. You know, that one that Jasmine Crockett and Barack Obama posted about political violence being absolutely deplorable. Meanwhile, Black Democrats still have yet to recognize that there is a genocide in Gaza. But I guess you can't when you getting that AIPAC money. So y'all favorite professor of No Snow Bunny said, "I am ashamed to see members of my community celebrating this situation," and says that celebrating and unaliving is completely unacceptable because apparently celebrating public death is wrong. Interesting.
This is where the idea of an undercover, MAGA-leaning narrative starts to emerge. When Corey Holcomb called out Dr. Umar Johnson, it wasn't just for laughs. Corey, known for his sharp insight, suggested that Umar might be operating more as a grifter or opportunist, rather than someone fully committed to Black empowerment and the cause he publicly champions.
There's a brother, calls himself a doctor. Everybody on the internet who calls themselves a doctor, it makes me do this. What's that Chuck D look? This brother, Dr. Umar, who is a great speaker, uses his speaking ability as a weapon against the lame. What is the definition of lame? A person naive or socially inept. He has been working lames for a long time. Come back from that. It take at least 5 years of staying away from the internet and a sincere apology for playing people like they lame, for a real one to even listen to that, what you got to say anymore.
And Corey may be onto something. How can someone speak passionately about Pan-Africanism and Black liberation, yet suddenly express empathy when a MAGA figure is targeted? This kind of behavior is often seen in people who appear pro-Black publicly, but maintain ties to conservative circles behind the scenes. MAGA supporters especially value having a Black figure who criticizes other Black people, a voice they can showcase to say, even your own community leaders agree with us. A recent example is Officer Tatum, whose actions clearly illustrate how this dynamic plays out in real life.
In Israel, if you actually talk to the majority of Christians, talk to them, you'll see what they say. They say Israel is the only place where we're respected and protected.
And I can attest to that as a Christian who went to Israel. I spent 2 weeks there with the church, and we had an incredible time. We had only one incident where a small child spit on one of the pastors, and immediately after there was an adult that came by and said, that's not a representation of who we are. You know, we love you guys. You guys are always welcome here. And I have to say, no adults gave us any grief. We had no issues whatsoever. And our experience there, it was actually an amazing experience.
It appears that Dr. Umar Johnson may be shifting his approach yet again. And honestly, this isn't surprising if you know his history. For years, he's faced criticism over the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy. He raised millions in donations, with supporters sending their hard-earned money to build a school for young Black boys. But that was over a decade ago. What's the school like now? Boarded up, mostly abandoned, with overgrown weeds taking over the yard. And yet, Umar continues to publicly criticize the Black community, claiming they aren't giving enough support.
Still want to know what's going on with Dr. Umar's school. That shit is not open yet. He's still blaming Black people on why they don't help, they don't come together, what. But I'm pretty sure he got a lot of money from Black people to start this damn school, and it's still not open. I'd love to see it open up. You know.
Despite all of this, Dr. Umar Johnson continued asking for more donations, more GoFundMe campaigns, more Cash App contributions, always another financial push. There was always a new explanation: permits, zoning problems, repairs, or unnamed individuals supposedly working to block his progress. But when you actually examine the financial records, the numbers don't add up. Multiple reports indicate that millions of dollars were raised, yet there's very little tangible progress to show for it. Over time, court documents began to surface, detailing lawsuits, fraud investigations, unpaid child support claims, and a troubling pattern of behavior that looks far more like a grifter's lifestyle than someone genuinely committed to a mission.
Umar, you are getting 100 billion lashes for being a deadbeat. Dr. Umar, you are getting 100 billion lashes for being a deadbeat. I'll say it again. Dr. Umar, you are getting 100 billion lashes for being a deadbeat. There is no excuse for not being in your children's life, no matter how crazy the baby mother is. I'm sorry. for a dude who has a crazy baby mother, who's ignorant, talks out the mouth. It never stopped me from getting my child every 2 weeks.
Whenever he's held accountable, Dr. Umar Johnson quickly shifts the narrative, claiming the system is working against him or that government agents are targeting a strong black man. Even when his bank reportedly froze his account over suspected fraud, Umar returned online and openly asked his followers for more donations, keeping the controversy and the scrutiny alive.
For more money.
Brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifa Tunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal. My personal PayPal account is Umar the Psychologist at yahoo.com. So that's PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist, PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist, PayPal.me/UMAHEPSYCHOLOGIST, PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist, or hit my Apple Pay using my cell number 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. I've never asked the people for $1. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I've only asked you to donate to the FDMG Academy for Boys. I don't have any sons. I have 2 daughters. So the FDMG campaign is a selfless project, mission, and service to provide our boys with the education that they deserve. But right now, I don't have any money because my account was frozen by my bank.
So how does all of this tie into the MAGA question? It's actually pretty straightforward. When your finances are unstable, your organization is crumbling, and your original supporter base no longer backs you, you naturally start looking for new sources of funding. And who's consistently ready to invest in black figures who echo their agenda? Conservative think tanks and right-wing media platforms. The funding is real if you're willing to align with their message. Given Dr. Umar Johnson's financial troubles and mounting legal issues, it's not far-fetched to think he might be drifting in that direction. Not overtly, but gradually hinting at a willingness to cooperate. Just look at his recent interviews. He's become more critical of the black community than of the systems that have historically oppressed it. He's dialing back his rhetoric on white supremacy while increasingly focusing on what he sees as inappropriate behavior among black people. That kind of shift isn't random. It's exactly what you'd expect from someone trying to reposition for a new audience or potential backers. And let's not forget, maintaining the Prince of Pan-Africanism brand is expensive. Travel, events, content production, public appearances all require serious funding. When grassroots support fades because people start questioning his honesty, he has to explore alternative funding options. Quietly aligning, even indirectly, with MAGA interests could be one of those options. Suddenly, things start to make sense. That statement Umar made about Charlie Kirk wasn't a one-off, it was a calculated show of respectability. And his financial struggles are likely the driving factor. In challenging times, people often turn to unexpected alliances. Corey Holcomb calling him out just confirms that the community is starting to notice. Now it's your turn. What do you think about Dr. Umar Johnson and these claims that he may be leaning toward MAGA support? Is this just another case of someone chasing a paycheck regardless of the source? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.